yourself.
All right, join us right now on the BetQL Guest Hotline. Talk a little hoops, talk some Wizards. He's the voice of the Wizards on the Monumental Sports Network, our pal Chris Miller. What's up, Chris?
I have no idea how to follow that conversation. I'll just say good morning, guys.
That's
how you
probably
doing?
the best
Well,
way
just
to approach
Google
it.
the Bill Belichick video.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw it.
What's your theory?
Tough night?
Yeah, that's probably a good theory by you.
Might have been a fun night. You know?
That too.
By the way, Chris, I had a fun night a couple nights ago when I bet the over on the Wizards against the Charlotte Hornets in Charlotte. Now they're running it back here at Capital One Arena. Are we going to see a similar game script tonight?
I sure hope so. Both teams really do a good job of scoring in the paint. Defense has been an issue for both teams, so that lends you to think that there's going to be potentially another track meet. And, the incentive tonight, guys, as you know, is this is going to be another one of the in-season tournament pool play games. And I've only experienced one of those so far, and that was last Friday down in Miami with the new court for them and new jerseys. And the Wizards will do the same thing tonight when they'll unveil their City Edition jerseys and the court that matches. But I did notice an uptick a little bit in intensity with the way the Heat and the Wizards were going at it, and hopefully we'll see the same thing again tonight. Look, for Washington, it's really simple with them. The last game against Charlotte, you saw the veterans just step up and say basically enough is enough. The way they were playing, especially on the defensive end, I thought they were a lot better Wednesday. Hopefully there'll be some carryover again tonight.
So explain the in-season tournament and the format because I'm very confused by it.
I think a lot of people are.
Can you explain it?
Okay, so obviously there are 30 teams.
Yeah.
They play in pool play, so there's 4 games, and it gets it down to 8, and then there's 2 teams that go to Vegas, and they'll play for what's called the NBA Cup. Now, for you guys, this is where you guys will understand how this is going to be incentivized for the players. The winner of the NBA Cup, guys, gets $500K.
Wow.
Okay, and then it kind of gets broken down, the runner-up, and that the coaches, especially the head coaches, are also incentivized by winning by getting a nice chunk of change. So
every player gets the same amount?
Yes.
Oh.
So this is what we're playing for. So it's not just your check. It's a little something extra in your check. And what the league wants is, as I understand it, is obviously these players sitting and this load management thing went too far.
Mm-hmm.
And the competition part of it in the early part of the year, the league wants the players to play at the highest level possible. So to do that, they were incentivized by this in-season tournament. And if the players level up and fans can enjoy the product and the players get a little extra money, I think it's a win-win. And we'll see tonight. I mean, you'll see it. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to watch some of these in-season tournament games. There's only been a couple of them so far.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell that there is an extra level of competition amongst the players out there.
So the first game of the in-season, was that the Heat game that they lost?
Correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
All right. And so tonight is game 2.
Of pool
Correct.
play.
Of pool play. Gotcha. All right.
Of pool play. So essentially they'll play these pool play games, guys, in the entire month of November. And, there's tiebreakers, and I won't bore you with all of them, but I will say this, head-to-head, obviously. And then the second part of the tiebreaker is point differential.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to see teams maybe run up the score because if that's one of the tiebreakers, obviously if you scored more points, you'll get rewarded for it. And I think the fifth one, I'm not going to bore you, but I think the fifth one is like a coin toss. I don't think it'll get to that point. I think to watch these games and watch how teams win games will pretty much determine how they advance in this pool play tournament.
And so how many teams out of each group advances?
So one team will advance in each group.
Okay. All right.
So, and then, obviously they'll get to Vegas and then they'll close it out and they'll crown a winner. They'll get a cup and some cash.
Gotcha.
Talking to Chris Miller, voice of the Wizards on the Monumental Sports Network. Let's talk Kabali, their draft pick. What have been your impressions so far? It's just, 7 games. He's not averaging a ton of points, but, man, does he have some physical skills.
So I saw him play 3 times in the summer with Mets 92. He's a teammate of Victor Wembanyama, and obviously Victor stands out among everyone else. But I did notice this kid, Kabali, and I was like, man, how old is this kid? And I looked it up, and he said he was 18, and he just doesn't play like he's 18. Yeah, he doesn't score a lot of points, but you can just tell he's been taught how to play the game of basketball the right way. He's not over-hunting shots. Defense is a priority for him. And the one thing that stands out to me every time I watch him play is his demeanor never changes. I don't care if he gets a dunk or if he gives up a turnover or gives up a wide-open shot. That's a sign of maturity. And then you can look at his measurables. I mean, being 6'8", long wingspan, gets into a defensive stance. Those things are what's going to keep him on the floor. And I think his offense over time will evolve. But I think the Wizards got this one right, man. I mean, this is the guy that could be a cornerstone of your franchise for years to come. Again, I'm not saying where he is offensively is where he's going to be when he's 23, 25, 28, 30. But defensively, I think there's a foundation that you can work with.
Chris, you know how these breaks work. We got a minute left. Is Kuzma a long-term player on this team? He's off to a great start this year, 25 points, 7 rebounds. Is he a long-term part of the plan?
I think so. I mean, I think he's playing his best basketball of his career, and his leadership has definitely taken another level. I do. I don't see any reason why he wouldn't be, but I also understand the business of basketball, and I understand draft capital, and I understand all of that stuff. So for me now, as we're talking today, I do see him as a long-term player because of just the way he's kind of attacked this season in his first year of really being into his prime years.
All right, Chris, have a good call. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, buddy.
Great talking to you guys.
Thanks,
All
Chris.
right, appreciate it, pal.
Chris Miller, you can watch him. Watch, of course, all the Wizards broadcasts on the Monumental Sports Network.
Real quick, just how different the NBA is. Every single team in the league is giving up at least, call it 117 to 120 a game. I just went back 20 years, back to 2003. How many teams were giving up 100 a game?
5, 2.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Think about that.
It's a completely different ballgame
It's
now.
completely different, yeah.
I hope they give up 242 tonight.
Yeah, could be.
I need it. Get those overs in.